Selfie in a hospital bed to get social media.
It's Tipsy B.
No, maybe it's possible to... Yes, he's coming out. You want to remake for real? No, let's go.
Brauche Beute.
Wow, thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Spike in A. Ein Gegner übrig. 4. Meine Ult ist bereit. Spike ist bei A. Lade nach.
Very bad, very bad.
Heilige Scheiße, Jet. Schon mal über eine Verbrecherkarriere nachgedacht? Ich kenne da jemanden.
Na dann, bringen wir sie mal um. Gucken verboten.
Blendung. Keine Blendung mehr. Nicht bereit.
Mob. Dorn aktiv.
Also tu uns so.
Verschleiß und Abnutzung. Dorn aktiv. Spike platziert. Letzter lebender Verbündeter.
Ich tausche nur die Fusionszellen aus? Okay, alles Paletti. Legen wir los.
Brauche Beute.
Doing the fake and split fast so that...
Jetzt warten wir.
Bin soweit.
Blendung
Komm
platziert.
schon. Keine Blendung mehr.
Mauer aufgelöst. Dornen aktiviert. Dornen sind raus. Dornen sind raus. Nutze raus. Spike platziert. Ein Gegner übrig.
Blendgranate los! Geblendet!
Can I defuse to take my ult? Thank you, my friend, I love you. Oh!
Das würde funktionieren.
Lade nach.
Du bist ein Störenfried, Breach. Aber das ist hier willkommen. Geh und bring sie durcheinander für uns. Jetzt warten wir.
Zittert. Lauft.
Passe hier auf.
Seht genau hin. Blendung platziert.
Gucken verboten.
Oh, lieb. Gegner in der Mitte. Gegner bei B gesichtet. Sei schneller. Da, will ich zurück.
Genau hier.
Ein Gegner übrig.
Oh my god, are you smurfing? Oh my god, go, 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 go.
Spike ist bei B.
Hartnäckigkeit hat schon auch etwas. Die meisten Menschen wissen, wann sie besiegt sind.
Sehen wir zu, wie sie leiden.
Sauber!
Gegner in der Mitte.
Ich bin euch auf der Spur. Waffe hier. Ein Gegner übrig.
Ihr hattet euren Spaß. Gegner bei B gesichert.
Ein Gegner übrig.
Dein Fehler. Tausch dich, du kleine Ratte.
Nutze Rauch.
Zeit für Snacks.
Entschuldigung.
Nein.
Ich hab nur genug für mich dabei.
Stand, bridge.
Aus dem Weg! Ihr werdet meine Verbündeten nicht töten. Dornen sind
Mid.
raus. Verboten. Verschleißen. Dornen zerstört. Da. Da.
Hey, ich bin echt angepisst.
Ein Gegner übrig. Letzter lebender Verbündeter. Sie haben Waffen aus Metall dabei. Um mich zu töten? Wie ironisch.
Brauche Leute.
Jetzt warten wir.
Mach sie platt, Breach.
Gucken verboten.
Maybe, don't know. Maybe B or mid.
Piu, piu. Meine Ult ist bereit.
Da. Verschleißen abnutzen. Dorn aktiviert.
Tot.
Da. Spike in Mitte.
Spike ist in der
Ein Gegner übrig.
Sie fühlen sich so sicher.
Someone have a Gaia skin.
Oh yeah, give me.
Brauche Beute.
Danke sehr.
Heute geht's auf meinen Nacken.
Kein
Ein Gegner übrig. Spike in B. Ass.
Sollen sie doch versuchen, mich zu fangen.
Halt mit.
Und los! Als wäre ich nie weg gewesen.
Ihr werdet meine Verbündeten. Spike in Mitte. Ein Gegner übrig. Kontrolliert den Raum. Kontrolliert ihre Möglichkeiten.
Bridge send please.
Viel Spaß! Keine Ladung. Raum. Gucken verboten. Hi. Ihr
Oh my
hattet
god,
euren
well
Spaß.
played.
Jetzt
Okay,
bin
don't
ich
pick
dran.
him maybe.
Beben! Blendgranate los!
Spike platziert.
Ich bin euch auf der Spur. Nutze Raum.
Ein Gegner übrig. Letzter
Nice.
lebender Verbündeter.
On your left. No, yes. Let's try.
Letzte Runde in dieser Hälfte.
Mir egal wie, aber gebt eure Creds aus.
Club, give me your water.
Vielleicht eine Shorty oder zwei. Heute geht's auf meinen Nacken.
What is this skin, bro? Don't give.
Brauche Beute. Halt mit. Seht genau hin.
Alles gut?
Gegner bei Dorn aktiv.
Spike in B. Ein Gegner übrig.
Spike bei B gesichtet.
Never give up. Nah.
Ja.
Let me love you.
Seitenwechsel.
So sehen mir diese Welt wehgetan.
Oui.
Sie gehört mir. Und ich werde töten, um sie zu verteidigen.
Oh, give up. No.
Brauche Beute. Danke sehr. Rauch.
Feind platziert.
Keine Ladungen.
Gegner in der Mitte. Absolut.
Gucken verboten.
Genau hier.
Gegner in der Mitte.
Gegner bei B gesichtet. Lade nach.
Ein Gegner übrig. Letzter lebender Verbündeter.
Six.
Macht den Mund auf und stellt Fragen. Vermutungen bringen uns nur Ärger ein.
Gegner bei A Gelenkfall ist zerstört.
Jetzt wird's neblig.
Dort aktiviert.
Stehle den Gegner.
Dort aktiviert.
Letzter lebender Verbündeter.
Ein Nachteil von Unsterblichkeit. Ich kann mich nicht totstellen.
Waffe hier. Klar.
Er zittert. Lauft. Lade nach. Blendung platziert. Gucken verboten.
Feind platziert. Gegner bei B gesichtet.
Gucken verboten.
Ein Gegner übrig.
Lade nach. Alle tot. Und ich bin auch hungrig.
Don't really want to get into it, but I'm fine.
Ich bin heiß. Komm schon. Ich habe
Oh,
noch was zu
boy. Well,
erledigen.
this is the last thing I wanted. Oh, awesome. Look over there. You can take a selfie in a hospital bed to get social media attention. Don't really want to get into it, but I'm fine. Oh, boy. Well, this is the last thing I wanted.
Let's win, my brother.
Oh, awesome. Look over there.
Nehme ihn jetzt wird's neblig. Nehme ihn die Abnutzung. Lade nach.
Ok, Jets is low. One shot Jets, je lui mets 130.
Aktiv. Meine Ult ist keine Chancen mehr.
Jet Heaven.
Blendfall ist zerstört. Vorsicht hier.
Yes, on bridge there. 3.
Genau hier. Explosion!
You have your stun bridge to check Heaven. No, Heaven. Both. Save. Like, come back to.
Matchpunkt.
Bringen wir es endlich.
Brauche Beute. Danke sehr.
Nein.
Aus dem Weg! Nutze Rauch.
Gegner bei A-Gebiet. Dosis aktiviert. Flügel gestürzt.
Drone aktiviert. Ihr hattet euren Spaß. Jetzt bin ich dran. Blendung vorbereitet. Ein Gegner übrig. Makellos. Angreifer gewinnen. Zu gut.
Yeah, you can take a selfie in a hospital.
What's the funniest game that turned serious fast? My college roommates and I had this stupid game where we'd send fake confession texts to random contacts in each other's phones while the owner was asleep. It was hilarious seeing people's confused responses the next morning. One night after some drinks, it was my turn to be pranked. I woke up to dozens of notifications. Apparently, they'd sent a text to my boss saying, "I've been stealing from the register for months. I'm so sorry." I freaked out and immediately called my boss to explain it was just a dumb prank. She sounded weird on the phone and asked me to come in early for a meeting. When I arrived, she wasn't alone. 2 police officers and the store's security guy were there with security footage pulled up. Turns out, someone had been stealing about $5,800 over the past 4 months, and they thought it was me because of the text. The security guy played footage showing someone taking money, but the person's face was always just out of frame. I swore it wasn't me, but my confession made me the prime suspect. Then my roommate Jake showed up, looking terrible. He'd remembered something about the prank text and came to help explain, but when he saw the footage, his face went white. "That's me," he said quietly. "I've been working night shifts for 2 months." Turns out Jake had been stealing to pay for his mom's cancer treatments. He was about to confess anyway because the guilt was killing him. My roommate game not only exposed a real thief, but the thief was the same guy who sent the fake confession. Jake went to jail for 6 months, and I lost my apartment and a friend in 1 day. We never played that game again. What's the funniest game that turned serious fast? My college roommates and I had this stupid game where we'd send fake confession texts to random contacts in each other's phones while the owner was asleep. It was hilarious seeing people's confused responses the next morning. One night after some drinks, it was my turn to be pranked. I woke up to dozens of notifications. Apparently, they'd sent a text to my boss saying, "I've been stealing from the register for months. I'm so sorry." I freaked out and immediately called my boss to explain it was just a dumb prank. She sounded weird on the
What's the dumbest rule you've had to follow? A few years ago, I was living in Ireland, and my daughter was spending time with her mom in New York when she was crushed to...
Woohoo! Some cards came back from grading.
What was Hitler's real goal in World War II? First, conquer land. He wanted to...
This algorithm is called A-star. It's used to find the shortest path on a grid with obstacles, from a starting point to a goal. At each step, A-star selects the cell with the lowest estimated cost. That cost is the sum of the distance already traveled and an estimate of the distance remaining, calculated using a heuristic function. Because of this, A-star doesn't need to explore the entire map like Dijkstra's algorithm. It focuses only on the most promising directions. If the heuristic is chosen correctly, A-star always finds the optimal path, while checking far fewer options. This algorithm is fundamental in systems like autonomous robots, games, and modern AI. It's simple, efficient, and entirely driven by quantitative logic. This algorithm is called A-star.
Pokemon evolving is one of the staples of the Pokemon franchise, so it's always neat when they decide to mix it up and make it so that Pokemon can evolve into multiple paths. Obviously, the most iconic one is Eevee with a whopping 8 evolutions, and we haven't gotten a new one in years, but I'm not salty at all. But the way these evolutions are actually decided is really interesting. For example, Tyrogue is only able to evolve into Hitmonchan, Lee, or Top based on its attack and defense stats, and it only evolves into Hitmontop if the stats happen to be equal. Wurmple evolves into either Silcoon or Cascoon based on its personality value, and to be clear, this is not not its nature. This is its personality value, a completely different stat. But at least both evolutions of these Pokemon are popular in some regard. Most split evolutions, there is a clear favorite. Everyone likes Frostlass more than Glalie, and Shedinja is this amazing, memorable 1 HP gimmick Pokemon, while Ninjask sure does exist. And even though Wormadam isn't super popular, no one even remembers Mothim is a Pokemon. At least male Burmese have something. You can't say the same for Combees and Salandits. Pokemon evolving is one of the staples of the Pokemon franchise, so it's always neat.
This might be the biggest thing to happen at Nvidia in years. While most people are waiting for their next massive AI card or even the RTX 5090, Nvidia made a sneaky move that might be revolutionary. You see, over 12 years ago, the creator of Linux said that Nvidia was the single worst company for them to work with, and he had some choice words and hand motions for Team Green. Nvidia's always been a pain in terms of getting their cards working and properly running on Linux in ways that AMD isn't, but there's been a passionate community trying to fix that. So there's this open source project Nuvo that's trying to build working open source drivers for Nvidia cards on Linux. And Nvidia secretly hired the lead maintainer of the project, who announced his new job by adding 156 patches to the open source driver with his new Nvidia address. Now, this either means that Nvidia is finally supporting Linux, or they hired the lead on the open source driver so he wouldn't have time to maintain it, and it takes way longer. This might be the biggest thing to happen at Nvidia.
Heute werde ich testen, wie viel TNT mein...
This might be the big...
Heute werde ich testen.
That's a fine weapon for sniping. The silencers.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch, mein Junge.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Herzlichen Dank.
Super. Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag. Hey, herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Sie sind schwanger? Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch, mein Junge.
Did you know Linnea caused chaos in the Grey Rat household? After losing to Persena, Linnea abandoned her warrior path and tried her luck as a merchant. Unfortunately, she was scammed, buried in debt, and eventually enslaved. That's when Eris found her. After defeating the slave traders, Eris brought Linnea back. When Rudeus heard Eris plan to adopt a cat, he didn't expect her to mean Linnea. His immediate reaction? Throw her out. Things got worse when the slave traders returned, forcing a tense confrontation. To resolve it, Rudeus bought Linnea's freedom and reluctantly let her stay, assigning her as a maid. Big mistake, she was a total disaster, breaking dishes, leaving messes, and waking up Lucy and Lara during naps. She even annoyed Sylphie by calling her Fitz, a name Sylphie had long abandoned. Lilia was at her limit. Aisha and Sylphie both wanted her gone, but Eris insisted Linnea stay. With the household falling into disarray, Rudeus made a key decision. Linnea needed a new role that ultimately led her to team up with Aisha to form the Rudo mercenary group, finally finding a place where she belonged. Did you...
This is what it looks like when a hermit crab changes their shell. This is what it looks like when a hermit...
Fathers, what moment made your life fall apart? I knew something was wrong when my son stopped looking at me. It started after his 13th birthday. He'd come home, head down, straight to his room. No more stories about school or friends, just silence. His grades dropped. His smile vanished. I tried everything. Sports, trips, gaming together. Nothing worked. Then I found it. A crumpled note under his bed. Don't tell your dad. He wouldn't understand. My wife's handwriting. That night, I checked her phone while she slept. Hundreds of texts to my brother. Plans, lies, photos. When I confronted her, she didn't even cry. He needed someone who was actually there, she said. I'd worked double shifts for 3 years to pay off our house, to give them security, to build our future. Now I sleep in my car some nights, watching my old home from across the street. Sometimes I see them through the window, laughing at the dinner table I built by hand. My brother is in my chair. Last week at pickup, my son whispered, "Dad, I miss our fishing trips." My heart cracked and healed in the same breath. But every other weekend, my son still runs to my car. And in those moments, I see his eyes meet mine again. They say time heals all wounds, but some cuts leave scars that remind you what matters. My son might have half my brother's face now, but his heart, that's still all mine. Fathers, what moment made your life fall apart? I knew something was wrong when my son stopped looking at me.
Hey guys, this giant anaconda is wrapped around my feet. No big deal though. This is how I got the yoink on him. Right here, I just found the coil, so I'm lifting up the coil, and I'm trying to see where that head is. This guy is massive, and his head could be anywhere around me. But I see it. Yoink. Tried to do it with one hand, but I definitely need two. He's way too powerful. After that little tussle, I got him under control, but then he just started wrapping me up. But it ain't nothing I'm not used to. Check out this giant Orinoco crocodile.
Das hier ist Kim Jong-uns Halbbruder, welcher in wenigen Sekunden im Auftrag des Diktators seinem eigenen Bruder vergiftet wird. Zwei malaysische Frauen überraschen 2017 Kim Jong-nam von hinten und rieben.
If you're buying someone or buying yourself AirPods this holiday season, should you get the Pro 2s or the AirPods 4? It's actually kind of close. The Pro 2s are on sale right now for $189, and you can get the 4s for $20 less at $169. So what difference does that $20 make? The Pros give you volume controls and touch controls on the actual earbuds. You can control the volume just by swiping like this, which is super useful, and these have the silicone ear tips, which makes the noise cancellation seem a little better. So when they're on sale, I'd probably go for the Pros. But these both still have a big problem. If you don't put a case on them, they still explode like that. This is gonna take forever to pick up. Which is why no matter which you choose, you might as well throw on one of these flick lock cases from ESR. They're super tough, they come in a bunch of colors, and this lock makes sure your AirPods don't fly all over the place.
So, alle mal zusammenkommen. Herr Sims, was machen wir heute? Wir machen heute eine meiner Lieblingsspiele von damals. Wer hat Angst vom schwarzen Mann? Oh, wer soll denn der schwarze Mann sein? Tyler, du.
Was schaut dir? Wieso ich?
Was passt zu dir? Du kennst dich damit aus. Keine aber verdammt, du stellst dich jetzt an die Linie und sagst deinen Satz. Du bist jetzt der schwarze Mann. Basta. Mann, also.
Wer hat Angst vom schwarzen Mann?
Niemand.
Und was ist jetzt?
Tyler, chill.
Und wer hat jetzt Angst vom schwarzen Mann, ha?
So,
Ever wonder why Digimon all have Mon in their names? Yeah, don't know if you've noticed, but all Digimon have something in common. Agumon, Gabumon, Terriermon, Omnimon, all of their names end with Mon. But there's a great reason for this. The Digimon franchise is all about kids who get sucked into a computer, meeting digital monsters in this digital world. Digimon, digital monsters? Yeah, you get it. Well, that means that Digimon are essentially little collections of data inside of a network. They're files on a computer. Do you know what all computer files have? A file extension. These are those little 3 or 4 letters that appear at the end of a file. Stuff like TXT for a text file, MP3 for musics, EXE for programs. You get the idea. Well, what if Mon is actually .mon? And the names are actually stuff like agu.mon or gray.mon. They're digital monster files, and that's their extension. And it's here where we just gotta appreciate the programmers who made puns like Devimon and Angie Wumon. So now you won't ever wonder why Digimon all have Mon in.
Did you know that Rudeus eventually gave his reluctant approval to Aisha and Ars's relationship, but not without strict conditions? At first, Rudeus was firmly against the idea. The relationship between his younger sister and his son deeply unsettled him. However, everything changed when Aisha and Ars ran away together. Desperate to find them, Rudeus and his family spent over a year searching. When they finally located Aisha, she was pregnant with Ars's child. Though disgusted, Rudeus realized that refusing to accept their relationship wouldn't change the situation. Instead, he laid out several conditions before granting his approval. The first condition was that Aisha and Ars had to formally apologize to everyone they had troubled, especially Lilia, who was the most affected. The second condition required their separation. Ars had to complete his education, prove his maturity, and secure stable employment. Aisha also needed to grow as her impulsive actions revealed her immaturity. To address this, Rudeus sent her to study in Usur. The third and most difficult condition was that Aisha would not raise her child until Ars could support the family. The baby would remain under Rudeus' care until that time arrived. Did you know?
Kennst du dieses Spiel? Ich gebe dir 3 Tipps. 1. Im Game geht es darum, eine Liste zu füllen. 2. Diese Liste hatte ursprünglich 150 Einträge, aber einer der Entwickler hat ein 151. dazu geschmuggelt. 3. Ursprünglich kam das Game in 2 Farben raus. Und, hast du es rausgefunden? Lass gerne einen Kommentar hier drunter. Kennst du dieses Spiel?
Something really strange just happened to Java Edition because Mojang might have just added one of the most insane features into the game. So, a new snapshot for the player tracker and Happy Gas got released yesterday, adding them both into the game. So, I did some experimenting, like usual, to see if they matched to Bedrock or if any bugs existed. They didn't. But I noticed something really strange. When you mount a Happy Ghast, 2 things happen. 1, its glasses go down, but 2, the distance at which your third-person camera view changes. It becomes further away to be proportional to the Ghast size. So at Quake Pro, you can see super far. And I went to the patch notes to see if they addressed this, because it's pretty weird, and what I found shook me. Increase the third-person camera distance when spectating or riding Ghasts, Ender dragons and giants. What? They actually made it so it's functional to ride an ender dragon or a giant? Mojang, I love you. Something really strange.
What's a childhood memory that hits differently as an adult? My dad used to play this game.
Mr. Beast broke 28 Guinness World Records while filming his new Amazon show, Beast Games. However, there is no award for accidentally befriending the most groomers. If there was, though, it would probably go to me. Good news this week, Godzilla...
People have been telling me recently that all I do is complain about stuff. Anyway, today's video, I want to complain about you. Because goddamn, some Minecraft fans are straight up idiots, I swear. I've come across a bunch of posts recently complaining that multiplayer in Java Edition is too hard or technically advanced to set up. Like, whew, I thought we were getting more tech literate, not less. Is port forwarding really seen as some sort of Herculean task? I mean, please, I've been doing that since I was 9! And then you have the fools who say to install this mod called Essential, which does this hard task for you. But at the same time, that mod adds a bunch of microtransactions to your game, and it will be a cold day in hell when I do that. I am become boomer, complainer about the youth. People have been telling me recently that all I do is complain about stuff. Anyway, today's video,
Dark-type Pokemon are bizarre because it's really the closest thing we have to a straight-up evil Pokemon type. And the definition of dark types has always been a bit vague. What's the difference between Houndour and Arcanine? How come Houndour gets the dark type while Arcanine gets to stay just fire? Is it just that one of these fire doggos has a bit of an attitude? Is Alola and Meowth the dark type purely because they're a bit...
This is a real photo of a hotel that has never had a single guest stay in it. This is the Rugong Hotel located in North Korea. Now, construction on this hotel started 37 years ago, and it is still not completed. North Korea wanted to...
Dark type?
Did you know that in the redundancy chapters of the Mushoku Tensei light novel, Rudeus jokingly claimed that he's the wife when he's with Eris? For Eris, Persina and Linnea were like pets, often lazing around at Rudeus' house. Persina, eager for attention, acted like an affectionate dog, while Linnea, more aloof, resembled a cat. Despite their differences, both were undeniably Eris's pets. One day, while sitting with Rudeus in the living room, Eris let Persina rest her head on her lap. After chatting for a while, Eris eventually left the room. Seeing an opportunity, Persina shifted and rested her head